another Water Cooler Wednesday. So today we are talking about the birth of Crypto Tax Trouble, which is a firm that we're going to be building in public, solely focused on crypto tax resolution. So we all know that, or maybe some of us don't know, but there's a huge underreporting problem in the states related to Web3 crypto taxes, and we see it as a clear sign that the IRS was, especially after they added a bunch of new staff, the IRS has made it very clear that they're going to be going after the industry, and we already know that the reporting is way under based on some pretty key figures. So we see it as a huge opportunity to jump in and help people with crypto tax resolution, whether you had a previous CPA that said they knew crypto and really didn't, and they reported things wildly incorrectly for you, whether you haven't reported yet at all, whether you are just struggling to understand the process of going up against the IRS. We're here to help with that. So another key thing and another key aspect for the community side of things is we really wanted to document every step of this so that those of you out there that maybe want to start your own firm, it doesn't have to be in crypto tax resolution, but if you want to be starting your own firm for crypto taxes or accounting for Web3 companies or accounting for companies that are Web 2.5 and they just want to be able to process crypto payments, this kind of building in public is going to be for you, because we're going to go through the steps of what do we send our clients? What's our checklist like? What's the software and tools that we're going to be using? So yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool journey to watch for people, because I don't know of any other accounting kind of walkthroughs of like what it looks like to start a firm. So we're really kind of honing in on the documentation part of the process and leaning on the community to help with everything from designing the updated logos and choosing the softwares and everything like that. So I'll kick it over to the guys to kind of talk about this a little bit more, but that's kind of the gist of what we're doing.
Yeah, so basically we started with nothing but a niche and a name, and the rest of it we hope to develop with the input of the community and not make the decisions 100% ourselves without having the discussion and getting vendors to come in when we're deciding amongst onboarding software, or if we're going to send out a marketing email, we might even ask like, hey, which headline sounds better? But the reason we chose crypto tax trouble is because, as Taylor alluded to, the tax gap. I think the last IRS commissioner, actually it's a current commissioner, Werfel, says that the tax gap attributed to crypto is somewhere near $50 billion, they believe. And, just looking at basic data of how many Americans have owned crypto versus how many tax returns have the digital asset checkbox checked, we can see that there's a huge discrepancy. The IRS announced that they were going to get back to sending out notices of payments due, which ultimately turned into, notices of intent to levy within several months. They said they were going to start doing that in late May, June. I hadn't actually started seeing the letters until just the last couple of weeks they're starting to hit. So the season is ripe to start helping people push back against the IRS when they're getting notices and getting the reconciliation work done to see what their actual tax situation is versus what the IRS determines it is.
And I think the key thing there is that a lot of times all the information the IRS gets is the 1099 forms that the exchanges send them, which is, for most people that are in the crypto industry or investing in crypto, it's not going to cover everything that they have. So most people are either on multiple exchanges or they've done some DeFi. And if any of that is true, then the 1099 that you get from Coinbase or Kraken or whatever, and that the IRS gets from them, is going to only have the activity on there. So it could have wildly different cost basis, or it could have no cost basis information at all. And if that's the case, the IRS is going to think that you owe taxes on the full $50,000 sale of Bitcoin when maybe you bought that Bitcoin somewhere else for $45,000, right? So there's a massive difference between owing taxes on 50K versus 5K. And so I think a lot of that is going to be where some of the problems are going to be. Also, like I was alluding to before, those individuals who use CPAs that either said they knew crypto or just said that they could handle it. A lot of times those individuals who don't really know the industry are saying, okay, just send me whatever the report from Coinly or Zen Ledger or cointracking.info is sending, right? All these crypto tax prep softwares. And again, same sort of issue with those types of tools is that if you have garbage input on the information that you're putting in, you're going to get garbage out. And so having things reviewed by a proper CPA that knows Web3 and crypto and can track things down and can look into what the actual cost basis is, and leverage things like spec ID. If you haven't already declared FIFO for your valuation of inventory on certain crypto assets, you can use spec ID, and that could give you a better tax picture as well. So a lot of this is going to be failure to report and then getting it right after the fact with correct information, or it's going to be underreporting or misreported things or whatever. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here.
Lots of just non-reporting, and the IRS knows you had crypto. And a lot of people leave the checkbox blank, even though you're not allowed to leave it blank. Mm-hmm. You must answer the question, but they still somehow file with it blank. Probably a lot of paper filers leave it blank.
True.
But the IRS definitely has the tools and the resources now, at present at least, to start. They've got that AC/DC data center there designed just to go after crypto non-filers or underreporters. And the statute of limitations, if you're underreporting by over 25%, is 6 years instead of 3 years, and that 6 years coincides with the John Doe summons. They just they went back 2016 to 2020 looking for information, probably for either people that just didn't report anything at all, or maybe some fraud related to crypto. But they're looking now, and the exchanges are sending out letters saying, hey, we're furnishing this information to the IRS. We're furnishing your information to the IRS. So
I think that brings me to my thing too, is when we started the Crypto CFOs community, as like when you start any business or any journey, you have your roadmap and you have your plans set forth. And early on, in our plans was to start a firm. At that time, we didn't know exactly what we'd be doing. And I think, at least speaking for myself, having so many meetings with firms that are doing an excellent job in the crypto space, so many of our partners, it was kind of like a space where it's like, do we need to be in that space? Do we have to specifically do the tax and accounting? And then after having, again, so many meetings with people who are investors and partners and listening to the pain points and things like that, the IRS is obviously mentioned in every single conversation. Back taxes is mentioned in every single conversation. But what you don't see is anybody standing up in the way that we're going to really help people, to find this. And you can find this in every other industry. When you're looking at tax resolution, every little niche, every space has this. So for us to come full circle and still adhere to our roadmap, it makes me proud to know that we're following our journey here and being surrounded by so many people in the community that we can, rely on, not just for me being the marketing guy. It's great to have people to bounce off, is this headline good? Is this logo good? Is this good? But then it's also when we reach certain hurdles and milestones and being able to take some of our partner firms and have referrals from them to help their clients now, so we're truly embodying. And if you've heard any of my sales calls, like community is the biggest thing for me. And it's really, truly having a community that we can build, make money together, further push the adoption of the crypto space and just kind of do things together as a unit. And that kind of ties into what we're announcing I spilled the beans to Angelita early on, but announcing for later this month is our trip around the Cryptoverse program. So taking people from the community and from, like Taylor says, a no coiner all the way up to basically a DeFi degen, and understanding how to, transact on the blockchain, export your data, getting all the information that you need to then reconcile all these transactions. And within the training systems that we're going to have in the community, being then able to use people to basically work with us on crypto tax trouble to then reconcile, and then represent these individuals. So it's exciting for me. It's a huge learning curve for me getting into this side of the industry. But also it's going to be very exciting for those of you that will join us. For those that are watching the recording, we're going to be doing many more of these videos to really talk about each individual step. We were just having our meeting earlier about onboarding process and, every step of the way. So even if you're not venturing out to try to build your own firm or start your own business, we all have clients, or we're looking to find new clients, and we're just trying to better everybody's journey on the way. So that was kind of like my 2 cents for the day. And it's super exciting for me to be spearheading this part of it. So.
I mean, I think a lot of people got extremely enthusiastic about crypto during the pandemic. And I'm noticing even on like Reddit groups that you've got either parents of college age students who became day traders during the day, and didn't know anything about like the stock market, much less cryptocurrency. And they were using Robinhood, and apparently the reporting that Robinhood put out was crappy to begin with. So even some of the CPAs involved in the industry are, as soon as someone mentions Robinhood, they're like, oh, that's a mess. Don't try to do it on your own. I mean, you got a lot of TurboTax folks too that were trying to do this on their own. So I think it's definitely a service that's going to be utilized, because the notices are out there.
Yes. Oh, for sure. And I mean, I can speak for myself early on, like even like right before COVID and then going into the pandemic time, I was one of those, I was involved with some shit coins. I was involved with, just a bunch of different things, just getting in on the hype, and some of them planned out very well. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, how the hell do I figure out what I owe here? You know what I mean? Like this,
right.
I don't remember what I put in. You're doing all this. You didn't track anything from the beginning. You're not tracking your wins. It's like all these things are happening, and you're just like confused. So I can understand, at least from my point of view, I can understand the average Joe investor, the college age investor, people who were just getting into the hype. And now you're sitting here, and I'm sitting at Brian's desk trying to figure out how I can, figure out my situation. I think that's the general story that I can bring, my input on, and as we onboard new clients and talking, it's explaining like, hey, I've been there. Taylor's been there as well. Brian's been there as well. We understand. I think we can say we understand more than most other tax resolution companies out there, if any. I mean, you can Google crypto tax resolution, and there's only one. I found 2 other websites that pop up, and like we're spearheading an entire community. So it's like these other firms don't have the base that we have, and these type of things. Right. So not tooting our own horn, but it's the community that's truly going to build this part of it, and this is the new journey that we're all going to be on. And then as the work comes in, those of us that have, passed the trainings and done all the certification programs that we have, there's, we want to kind of work with the individuals in the community that are looking to take on new clients as well. So, and whether that means outsourcing or however we decide on that, I'm excited, and like you're saying, I think that's the thing is we've been through it. We're not just jumping on and saying, hey, we do crypto tax resolution now, and we've never transacted in crypto, and we don't understand things, and we don't have wallets, and we don't have this, and we don't have that. So I think it's a better, when we're onboarding client, we say, hey, we know what you're going through, and I think in the time when somebody's thank goodness I haven't received a letter from the IRS, but it's like, if I did, I think I would want somebody who understands the situation helping me through it.
And having started a cannabis firm and dealing with cannabis tax resolution, I don't think you get any more in the trenches than you do with cannabis audits and did a CDP hearing yesterday for a cannabis company that was 4.8 million, you know, so it's like they're in dire straits too. So it's like the two industries where, you know, people are in real tax trouble, is where we can help the most.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think just kind of like our roadmap as we build this out, I think we spun the wheels a few times, but the goal, if you look in the community now, there's a new forum and a new group called Crypto Tax Trouble. So within that space is where we're going to be posting some polls, lower level things, you know, logo designs, color designs, headlines, things like that. So for those of you that are interested in that side of building a firm, we look forward to your input, and we look forward to any suggestions or opinions you may have on those things. And then as we start doing, Brian's spearheading software demos. So we're going to be looking at different platforms that we're going to be using for onboarding, payment processing, just basically the whole gamut of tools that are needed. And then we'll also be talking about our referral programs, building that out, our marketing efforts. And I'm going to find a creative way to track our revenue, because the whole thing kind of relies on us, our goal of reaching 1 million in revenue. So we haven't quite set a timeline on it. That's something we're going to kind of try to put a timeline and a stamp on it. That way we can hold ourselves accountable and kind of give us some incentive to move faster. But I want to be able to track revenue within the community, so we can kind of say, hey, our goal is 1 million. This is where we are. And just for me also, you know, me and Angela have had many conversations about this. It's accountability, you know, and I want to be held accountable to know that every day I'm doing the most I can, and I'm being held accountable by 300 other professionals in the community that are watching this happen. So,
yeah, right. If we're all talk and don't do anything, exactly. It's going to be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only like we got to get revenue and margin, because
yes, of course.
Right.
But I mean, we've done this in the past with Brian's firm. You know, we didn't have a community. We didn't know much of anything. You know what I mean? And we did it in the cannabis space. And I think that we're much more prepared now, the second time around, using the community and just the many relationships. I probably have more relationships in the crypto space in the past year than I did the whole time in cannabis. So, you know, it's a different type of people. You know, they're a lot friendlier in the crypto space. It's true.
Than anywhere. Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, the only so we come with a firm license already, but we also documented the basic process to getting a license. So we should probably just put that in there.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's state specific.
Yep.
So, but in general, we want to be able to start you from scratch.
Yeah. And I think also the key thing for me, I'm gonna have to find a better way to explain it in the community, is you can follow along even if you're not trying to build a firm. Like, you don't have to build a firm. You don't have to take this whole journey on. If you're a solo entrepreneur who has a few clients and you just want to get a few more, the marketing things I'm going to be doing, it carries into whatever it is that you're doing. So you'll be able to, you know, apply that to your own life. If you're serving clients at a larger firm, this is a better way to serve. You may find a better way to serve or market to your clients. You may want to introduce your marketing team to the community if they're not here already, and just kind of find different ways to be a part. So I don't want anybody to say, hey, I have no interest in building a firm. Let me not pay attention. Let me not be involved in this, because the practices and the things that we're going to be sharing, it's literally everything that we know from building the community, which is the hardest thing I've done. I've built businesses, I've done the whole thing, but building this community has by far been the hardest thing. And just taking these tools that we're doing and these processes and the systems that we're building, and apply it to your own business. So that's going to be an interesting thing. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope everybody partakes in the polls. I think we're going to I may jump on. So I'd like to bring back the office hours at least one more day a week, plus the water cooler Wednesdays. Plus I'd like to add basically a firm live. So for the people who want to jump on and just, you know, kind of throw some ideas around, we'd love to have you on that as well. So yeah, I mean, that's my thing. I think we've gotten a great response so far. A lot of people stepping up saying they want to be involved, they want to help, they're interested in referrals. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so we got to design a referral fee structure, which is probably going to be tiered too. So that's on the list of things to do. Well, I got to get a whole checklist together, like one document, Google document that's read only, that has like every documented step we take and every decision we make along the way, just so if someone decides later on they want to, you know, and then we can come back and say what worked and what didn't, and what we would have done differently. So.
Absolutely. So, so yeah, that's all. Taylor, I don't know if you're still there. Maybe if you want to talk about what's going on next week for Water Cooler Wednesday, that'd be good just to kind of close out on that. Next week's going to be a live, one of our monthly live public ones. So we're going to be promoting it on LinkedIn and as well as within the community. So Taylor can explain a little more.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about, I got a iguana. Living in Costa Rica has its challenges, and I've got an iguana that just got into my house during the call. So
For the iguanas,
I'm trying to vacate it right now. So this next week we're going to be talking about. I don't know if everyone has heard about the FTX fraud trial. We're going to be talking with Greg O'Brien from Anomaly CPAs. He wanted to discuss kind of some of the. This is all going to be speculative, but some of the potential kind of tax trouble that some of these higher ups in the FTX company might be coming under as well in the future, just solely based on the facts of the case. Like, just for an easy example, the company was buying real estate for people in their own names, but with company funds. So, you can imagine that probably was trying to be swept under the rug, but at the same time, that would likely be considered compensation, right? Because the company's paying for a $20 million villa for you in your name. You technically own it because it's in your name, but it was with company funds. So stuff like that we'll be discussing, and kind of the potential impact of that going forward. So that'll be a good one to catch. That one will be in the public. So if anyone wants to join that one, if you have colleagues that aren't in the community that want to get in, they can watch that one. It'll be live. I think we'll be hosting it on LinkedIn. Is that correct?
it'll be here. The link will be on LinkedIn.
Here.
Yeah, it'll be right here.
Cool.
The link will be public. I'm actually going to make the LinkedIn event post probably within the hour. So we'll be able to share that around. Everybody can register, and that'll be a great one.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, guys. I think that wraps it up today. If anybody has any comments, questions, that's pretty much going to be it. The recording will be live later on today. Thank you guys for showing up.
And I'll be getting into this eviction right now.
Yes. Good luck. See, that's what they say. Be careful what you wish for. You want to be living in a tropical place, and you can
Luckily for that iguana,
not all tropical places have iguanas.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Luckily, my dog hasn't noticed yet that the iguana's in the house, and she's like part pit bull. So I'm happy for this iguana that it hasn't been noticed by my dog yet. So I'm gonna try to keep that up.
Well, their tails grow back after the dog rips them off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Here we go. Get him out. No, not that way. Not that way. This way. Here we go. Let's go. Out this way. Come on.
We never get entertainment on these calls.
Right. Absolutely. I'm like.
I love it. CJ, where are you at? You back in Colombia?
Yeah, but I'm going to Texas right now to meet up
Going to Texas
with some of me.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. I'm trying to get ready to go to the airport and catch my flight.
Nice. Love it. He's still going. Look at him.
This way. No, this way. Yeah, I know you're mad. Let's go this way. No, not back in.
I got money in the iguana.
I'm leaving this on the recording too. This has to stay.
He's so mad.
Do they still make America's Funniest Home Videos?
Right.
Yeah.
It looks all grainy like the old videos.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, we're done. Success.
All right.
Another crypto CFO success story right here.
You do it all.
Next time it's Costa Rica Pest Trouble is going to be our next company that we start up. All right.
All right, guys. Take care.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
All right.